Good afternoon. My name is Vijay Tremonti. It's an honor to welcome you to all of you to the 2012 UTMB Employee Service Pin Award celebration. We are assembled here to remind us of the unique individuals who have made the choice to support UTMB for many years. As Albert Camus said, life is the sum of all your choices. These individuals deserve to be recognized for continuing their valuable time and energy by setting an example for all of us. It is important to remember that the people we are honoring today are gems. Each gem brings his or her own unique characteristics to UTMB Health. I congratulate these individuals for their dedicated service and for their commitment to UTMB's mission to improve the health for the people of Texas and around the world. In addition to the precious gems celebrating milestone anniversaries with UTMB Health, we are honoring our gem card recipients for going that extra mile. Gem card recipients are individuals who have been recognized by their colleagues for going the extra mile and for upholding the highest standards of professionalism, service, and dedication. Here to express his personal appreciation and admiration for all of the honorees in this room is UTMB President Dr. David Callender.
Thank you, Vijay. I'd like for you all to join me in expressing appreciation to Vijay for being here today. Thank you so much. You know, Vijay's involved, I think, in just about every way that a community member can be involved. Personally and with his firm, he is hugely supportive of UTMB and has been through thick and thin. So, Vijay, we appreciate that very much. This is a marvelous ceremony. It's so great to see all of you here today. It's great to have a packed house. Always a lot of fun to celebrate the spirit and commitment of the amazing people who really make UTMB what it is. Our people are the heart of our institution, those with incredible expertise and skills, faculty members, staff members, everybody working together to make a huge difference and define the future of health care. It's a great honor for me today to join together with you in recognizing you for, listen to this, 22,525 years of service. That's incredible. Everyone being recognized, including the 255 gem card recipients, are really among UTMB's greatest assets. So thank you so much for the incredible difference that you make every day here, whether it be in the life of a patient, whether it be in helping forward our wonderful mission work, helping us accomplish our goals. You all are the ones who make it all happen for now and for the future. So let me get Vijay back up so we can get the ceremony underway. Thanks again.
Thank you, Dr. Callender, for those kind words. And now's the time to come to recognize all of the amazing gem card recipients among us. Here at UTMB, gem cards are used to show appreciation for the people who have gone the extra mile to help a patient, a student, a coworker, or a visitor to the campus. At this time, if you are among the 255 esteemed UTMB employees who have received a gem card since the last service pin celebration last year, we want to offer you our heartfelt congratulations and thank you for your passion and hard work. Please stand for a well-deserved round of applause and thank you for all that you do. Now it is time to recognize your dedicated colleagues for all of their years of outstanding service to UTMB Health. First, I would like to acknowledge everyone who is celebrating 5 years of service today. So would everyone celebrating 5 years of service please stand and let us honor you. Congratulations on reaching your first service milestone. Those of you who are celebrating 10 years of service, please stand. Thank you for contributing a decade. Spectacular service. Would all of our 15-year service pin recipients please stand and receive a round of applause. At this time, please welcome Dr. Callender back to the stage to recognize those with 20 or more years of service.
I always enjoy, and this is laid out for us here, but it's always fun to think about what was happening, 20, 25, 30 years ago. So 20 years ago, a gallon of gas cost just over $1. In 1992, our Seeley Center for Molecular Sciences was first established. The top Billboard singles at the time included Black and White by Michael Jackson and I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston. I like both of those songs still. Those are good songs. UTMB held its first Earth Day at the John Seeley Towers to promote recycling. The minimum wage was increased from a whopping $4.25 to $5.05 an hour. Popular movies were, do you remember these? Aladdin, Malcolm X, The Bodyguard, and Wayne's World. If you watched TV 2 decades ago, you probably tuned into Dateline, The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, and Mad About You, not Mad Men. Those of you with small children in the early 90s probably remember that big purple dinosaur from the television show Barney and Friends. I think I still have a purple coat somewhere. Barney's creator was from Dallas, Texas. DNA fingerprinting was invented in 1992. So all of you who have given 20 years of service to UTMB, please stand and let us show you our appreciation for all of your hard work and commitment. Thank you, guys. 1987 was another milestone year in many respects. 25 years ago, UTMB's third president, Dr. Tom James, came aboard. Top Billboard singles included Livin' on a Prayer by Bon Jovi, La Bamba, I think that was Los Lobos, right? It's actually not here. And Heaven is a Place on Earth by Belinda Carlisle. If you were a moviegoer, you probably saw The Princess Bride and The Untouchables. Remember that one with Kevin Costner? And Sean Connery, my hero, bald head. Popular TV shows included Married with Children, Star Trek: The Next Generation, and Unsolved Mysteries. 25-year service pin recipients, please stand for applause. Thank you guys very much. Okay, so let's go back 30 years to 1982. Compaq Computer was founded in Houston and went on to be IBM's biggest competitor at the time. Who's IBM? Anybody remember? Top Billboard singles included Eye of the Tiger by Survivor, Hard to Say I'm Sorry by Chicago, and Truly by Lionel Richie. Popular movies in 1982 included Annie, E.T., Phone Home, Gandhi, Sophie's Choice, and Tron. Leading television series included Cheers, Family Ties, and Knight Rider. All of you who are 30-year gems, please stand for our applause. Thank you very much. Okay, so we're going to go back 35 years. That's when the first MR scanner was first tested in Brooklyn. Wow, we've come a long way in 35 years. Here's a memorable one. Chuck E. Cheese opened its first restaurant in San Jose. How many children have sticky fingers, have had sticky fingers? Jimmy Carter became the 39th president of the United States. The top Billboard singles included Dancing Queen by ABBA, Hotel California by the Eagles. They're still singing that today. We Are the Champions by Queen. Popular movies in 1977 included Annie Hall, Saturday Night Fever, and Star Wars. TV shows popular at the time included Chips, Love Boat, and Top Gear. Also, in 1977, Boy, I wish I would have bought their stock then. The first personal computer was marketed by Apple. All of you who are getting their 35-year service pins, please stand to be recognized. Congratulations. Thank you all very much. VJ, come on back and do the 40-year, folks.
40 years, 1972. I still had a head full of hair, and I received a #1 in the draft, and went to my physical and flunked because of overweight, bad eyes, and something else, flat feet. So good. Lucked out on that one. Okay, next we acknowledge real gems who will be celebrating 40 years of service. 1972, the Moody Medical Library opened. The top Billboard singles included Alone Again, Naturally, by Gilbert O'Sullivan, American Pie by Don McLean, and Lean on Me by Bill Withers. Popular movies in 1972 included Cabaret and The Story of My Family, The Godfather. Good. The television shows premiering that year included Fat Albert and The Cosby Kids and MASH. NASA announced the development of the Space Shuttle program. To really put things in perspective, consider that when these individuals joined UTMB in 1972, and this is going to kill you, a gallon of gas set you back 36 cents. So now, would our 40-year gems please come forward to receive your award? Please hold your applause because we have about 10 or 12 of them to announce. Dr. Sarah Ayachi, Dr. Raleigh Johnson, Dr. Alexander Kurosky, Shirley McGraw, Dr. Jose Perez Polo, Dr. Johnny Peterson, Dr. Carol Richardson, Dr. Frank Schmalstig, Dr. Landon Stout, Dr. Barbara Thompson, Dr. Courtney Townsend, and accepting for Lillian Traber, who is out of the country, is Dr. Inka Batar. Let's give them all a round of applause, please. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. All right. There you go. This next rare jewel joined the UTMB team 45 years ago. Let's take a moment and think back to what was going on in 1967. There were a couple of originalities, such as UTMB's first president, Dr. Truman Blocker, came on board. The first Super Bowl was played in Los Angeles, California, and the first handheld calculator was developed by Texas Instruments. The top Billboard singles included Happy Together by the Turtles and I'm a Believer by the Monkees. Popular movies were The Graduate and The Jungle Book. The television shows that premiered included Spider-Man and The Carol Burnett Show. Now let's take a moment to learn a little bit about this very special UTMB treasure.
I'd always wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be a doctor since I was 4, my family tells me. And so, you know how your parents ask you, oh, what do you want to do when you grow up? And I always said, well, I want to be a doctor.
And so it would be. This small-town girl, Alice Ann O'Donnell, made her mark early on. One of only 4 female med students in a class of 78. And this quirky little island called Galveston with its medical branch and easy living, had the good fortune of becoming her home.
When I came to Galveston and took my tour of the John Seeley Hospital, it was friendly. And I thought, this is where I want to be, because it's like a small town. And I think that sense of community is probably why I stayed.
Alice Ann was the attending in the newborn nursery when I was rotating through. And I remember her as being such a warm, wonderful teacher. And I remember thinking, this is one of the best teachers I've run into.
And for me, at the university, my passion has always been education. And I love patient care, and I had a very active practice before Ike. But after Ike, I went part-time, and so I gave up my practice. And now my clinical responsibilities are primarily supervising the residents in our family medicine clinic.
She was the first UTMB faculty member recruited into family medicine in the late 60s, and her tried and true way of practicing medicine has never faltered.
She started this department with Dr. Lamar Ross, and we did a little spoof on her during the 40th anniversary of our department, where we did the Brady Bunch theme song, and we had her as Mrs. Brady and Dr. Ross as Mr. Brady, and showed all the different parts of the department as the children and the different people. So it was a symbol of who she is for this department.
While medicine is her love, there is no mistaking nature is her passion.
I love UTMB, but I love Galveston. And I think my passion for about Galveston has always been all things nature. Some in the audience may one of these days see this gray-haired lady going down the road with a little round, it looks like a mushroom. It's called an R-pod, pulling behind a 4Runner, and then behind that a little trailer with a little motorcycle on it. You can say, I bet that's that lady from UTMB. You too can have fun riding a motorcycle as long as you take the safety test. This is Dr. Alice Ann O'Donnell having fun on Settegas Road, Galveston, Texas.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Alice Ann O'Donnell.
It's really fun to have looked back over 4.5 decades and gathered a little bit of perspective about the many years of service that everyone here has contributed, particularly those who have been long-standing in service to UTMB. But in 1957, 55 years ago, two very unique employees joined UTMB. So we're going to take a moment and look back at what was going on in that year, 1957. How many of you remember Sputnik? The first satellite was launched into space that year, and what a stir that caused. The first edition of Cat in the Hat by Dr. Seuss was published. Chevrolet was introduced. The Civil Rights Act was introduced during Dwight Eisenhower's presidency. Hound Dog by Elvis Presley and April Love by Pat Boone topped the Billboard charts. The television shows that premiered include Blondie, Maverick, and Zorro. Also that year, the average cost of a brand new car was a whopping $2,100. So let's take a moment to view the journeys of two very special UTMB honorees.
Dr. Lockhart is incredible, and she's extremely good at what she does.
She's wonderful. I mean, she's a pillar of the department. I mean, she is a lady, and I love her.
My husband was going to medical school at the same time, so we had to go to the same place. And so what I did was come and get my master's degree as well as my MD degree. Do they have any questions about what cystic fibrosis is?
I think Dr. Lockhart has always been ahead of her time. Before it was common for women to go into medicine, Dr. Lockhart was training to be a physician, going to medical school.
They just turned us loose on the wards at night to work. And that was a very good experience for me. They don't have that experience today. But I'm not sure it was so good for the patients. But what I do is see families or children that have a potentially genetic disorder and work and evaluate them. I take a very thorough history and then hopefully get appropriate tests to make a diagnosis and then counsel the family.
She is a hard worker. She is totally dedicated to her patients and to her work. And most of all, she really enjoys taking care of children and being involved in the care of children with genetic disorders.
She personally goes down, welcomes every single patient, and then escorts them up to her office. And I think that shows enormous respect for the patient. And every time I see her in the elevator with a patient that she is taking up, it inspires me to try and be like her.
She is absolutely committed to being here and being present and involved with her patients at all times. One of the things that she told me, to this day, she regrets when she had to evacuate for Hurricane Ike because that was the one day in her career up to that point that she did not show up for work on a day when she was scheduled to work. And she feels like she let somebody down that day. So it always gives us a good laugh. I mean, there's never been any doubt in anybody's mind that she is 150% committed.
I don't think we're going to have a case like this. But what about a drug company coming to a conference? I really started working here because I wanted to teach. I just love them to death. They come knowing nothing. They come not knowing how to put the stethoscope in their ear. Seriously, they put it in backwards. And you can teach them so much in that year and watch them just bloom and learn that it is a very rewarding experience. And they want to learn, and they're all so smart. I have good health, and I have good friends, and I enjoy it. And so, to me, it's no big deal.
Say that she's a wonderful person and wonderful boss. One couldn't have anything better than her.
I don't like to do stuff like this. In fact, between you and me, I've thought about not even attending that program.
I'm sorry I couldn't be with you this afternoon, but at this moment I'm probably halfway across the Atlantic on my way to Morocco. I'll let you know how that turns out. But I hope, Lillian and Alice-Ann, that you're here, probably sitting right there on the front row. Congratulations on your long and successful and distinguished service to UTMB.
I love the fact that I'm a physician and get to come to work every day and do work in which I am finally competent. And to be with people I enjoy working with and patients whom I can help. Yeah, I guess I say I love it.
Melvin Schreiber's walked miles of hospital hallways during his 50 years at UTMB, seen thousands of patients. He's part of our history.
That part is normal. We started in the class in 1951 as freshmen, and we got to know each other at that time. It was a much smaller place.
All of the medical students wore what everyone would now laughingly call barber's jackets. And we believed that we were specially privileged people and that we had, therefore, a special responsibility.
This is a supine film. Do we have an erect one?
Mel Schreiber fell into radiology quite by accident. His mentor, Robert Cooley, nudged him back in 1956 to give it a try.
He was the chairman of radiology then. I said, okay, I don't know anything about that, I'll do that, but you understand it's just for a few months. He said, well, we'll just sign you up and see what happens.
Dr. Schreiber,
It wasn't long before other people took notice.
I think Melvin was the first of us that became a full professor, and I think he did that after 6 years on the faculty, which was unbelievable. Melvin's ticket could have been punched in any place in the world he wanted to be. He was just that good.
I was invited to look at professorships and chairmanships in other places, including some of the great places in the country, like Boston, like Harvard. And I must say it was flattering. And I enjoyed going up there and being interviewed, except it was so damn cold.
And so the warmth of this special place has been his home, from his monthly visits to Joe the barber when he used to be on campus, to a 1980s video about x-rays. There's not much Mel Schreiber's missed.
His students love him. His colleagues trust him. They turn to him for advice. He is just an all-around teacher, educator, and with incredible energy for doing his work and doing it well.
And it seems Mel Schreiber dabbles in a little bit of everything.
He is a world traveler, he's an essayist, a book critic, a card shark, a chess player.
I play chess in the office here with Dennis Gore, or with anybody who will play with me. Right now it's Dennis Gore. The chess set is set up over there, and he drops by once a day or once a week, or when he's on vacation, or I'm on vacation every couple of weeks, and we make a move and we write it down so we'll remember.
He is a doting grandfather. That's what BAPA stands for. He's a photographer, a physician, and a prankster.
He's very neat and orderly, and my office is full of papers and it's often disorganized, and he would leave notes, sticky notes on my desk, signing at Tom James or Bill Levin, saying, "Clean up this office. This is a mess."
He has the benefit of years of experience. Even his colleagues have said so.
Mas sabe el diablo por viejo que por diablo. The devil knows more, is wiser because he is old than because he is the devil. I think that's the smartest thing I ever heard.
They've been good times indeed. He gets the question a lot, when will you retire? Dr. Schreiber, we hope not for a long, long time.
I'm sure there'll come a time when incapacity will make it necessary for me to retire. But I don't see that yet, and I don't need to see it yet. I don't have to see it yet. And God knows I don't want to spoil a perfectly good marriage.
Well, it's a marvelous privilege to be able to say a big public thank you to Drs. Lockhart and Schreiber today. And I want you to know that I'm happy to let you know that Mayor Joe Jaworski has actually proclaimed today Drs. Lillian Lockhart and Melvin Schreiber Day in Galveston. So we have those proclamations. So we'll make our presentations to Dr. Lockhart. As you saw, Dr. Schreiber couldn't be here today. He is truly halfway across the Atlantic, but Kathy Cooper is here to accept his recognition for him. So please join me again in congratulating these two. Well, this concludes the formal part of our ceremony. VJ, thank you again for being here and serving as our host. I hope all of you have enjoyed, along with VJ and me, the opportunity to reminisce a bit, think about the past, and most importantly, say thank you to everyone who has contributed over the years to UTMB's success and our ongoing ability to truly define the future of health and healthcare in Texas and beyond that around the world. So if you would, again, please help me congratulate everybody. And then help us celebrate. There's some refreshments, some cake and punch out in the hall. Have a marvelous day. Thank you for being here. Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.